Thanks so much for listening. I'm your host, Ashwini Prasad, and this is season 5 of the Inclusive Storytelling Podcast. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, and if you are liking these stories, please go ahead and download, leave a review, and subscribe to the podcast. And if you are somebody who wants to go ahead and turn these folks' stories into a movie or a miniseries, message me and let's collaborate. Welcome to the last of our trios of women Black fashion designers. I'm so excited to end this series with Ann Lowe. She was the first Black woman to become a renowned fashion designer. Her career spanned from the 1920s to the 1960s, and she is now well known for building the dress for Jacueline Bouvier, or Jacqueline Kennedy, when she married John F. Kennedy in 1953. Back then, Ann Lowe did not receive the credit from the press or the First Lady herself because of her race for making that beautiful and infamous wedding dress. Ann Lowe has an amazing career and amazing story that I definitely want to see on our screens. I'm going to just pick a little bit about her life because if I did a podcast on her life, it would be many hours long. So Ann is considered one of the most significant fashion designers, and she was born in Clayton, Alabama in 1898. When Ann Lowe was 6 years old, she developed a fondness for using fabric scraps and began making decorative flowers, which in her adulthood became her signature feature on many of her dresses and gowns. By age 10, Ann was making her own dress patterns. So in 1914, after her mother died, Lowe married a man, and she might have been around 16 or 17 years old when this happened. Lowe's son, who was born a year after she was married, later became her business partner. In 1917, Lowe left Tampa for New York, and she arrived at the St. Taylor School of Design. Fortunately, she was shunned by the school's director because of being Black. He allowed her to attend the school, but segregated her in another classroom because her classmates refused to be in the same space as a Black woman. Lowe returned back to Tampa for a little while, where there was a growing demand for ball gowns and cotillion wear and other formal attire. She hired and trained 18 seamstresses while in Tampa and opened her own shop, the Annie Cohn Boutique. This was from 1924 to 1929. Around 1920, Ann married Caleb West, her second and last marriage. He was a hotel bellhop and day laborer. They were officially married until 1942. Lowe had many great aspirations, and she wanted to have her own salon in New York City. In 1928, Ann Lowe closed the Annie Cohn Boutique and permanently moved to New York, where she continued to design for elite women and their families. Over the course of her life, Ann operated several shops in New York, including Ann Lowe Incorporated, which was located at 667 Madison Avenue in the late 1940s and 1950s. She had Ann Lowe Gowns at 973 Lexington Avenue and many, many other stores until she retired in 1972. One of the most historically significant but unknown commissions was the bridal gown and bridal party dresses for the 1953 wedding of Jacueline Bouvier and then Senator John F. Kennedy, who some of you might know became the President of the United States in 1961. What is unknown about the work that Ann Lowe did to support Jacueline Bouvier's wedding is that about 10 days before the wedding, there was a ruptured pipe in the building that Ann Lowe was making all of the wedding gowns and the 10 of the 15 bridesmaids' dresses. Unfortunately, her team had to recreate all of the dresses, and she sustained a loss of $2,200. She never reported this loss to the Kennedy family. So she went unrecognized for many decades for her work on the bridal dresses and the wedding dress, and she took a financial loss. Ann Lowe continued her brilliant work and also had to manage that her only son was killed in a car accident in 1958. This led to a lot of a general decline in her health and financial stability. Ann Lowe continued to work until February 25th, 1981, when she passed away in Queens, New York. I think Anne's story is absolutely amazing. Like I said, I can't even cover everything that she did. This is definitely a movie material, not just a documentary. And I would love to see more of her designs be well known and also displayed in a great miniseries or a movie about her life. So this is Ann Lowe, folks, and thanks for listening to this trio, which started with Elizabeth Keckley, Ruby Bailey, and now Ann Lowe, these amazing Black women fashion designers. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to subscribe, download, and leave a review of the podcasts and episodes. And follow me on Instagram at The Inclusive Screenwriter. And lastly, let's connect. If you are interested in making these lovely people in these episodes into a movie or a mini series. Thank you again.